Hello peoples! In this video I'd like to go over a HSV Editor node that I've created and use quite often on different projects to get hue and satch at render time quite the way I'd like them to be. It can take in any of your RGB values in your it'll actually update the render. Any RGB values from your network and allow you to modify the hue, the saturation, and the value of the RGB that's coming in, and then convert them back to RGB so that you can use them elsewhere in your network. So I'd like to just jump on in. First we're going to put down a RGB to HSV node, and then put down another, or not another, but a HSV to RGB node, so we can get the starting connections going for our digital asset when we create it. Just create a subnetwork, and you notice the connections are already made for you. In here, I'm going to then create a digital asset. Name this Houtorial HSV Editor. Get the proper name in there. Ooh, pressing it twice. Okay, apply. In here, I'd like to put down three float parameters. Each of these will be the hue, saturation, and value. Set their defaults to 1. I'm going to set their range to 2. That way we, get some playroom. I'm going to name this hue. I'm going to name the next one satch, or saturation, sat, whatever. Satch. Okay. And value. So if we hit apply, you'll notice that the parameters get made, but there's no inputs on your subnet. So in case you want to use that in the future, if you go to your input-output tab, just hit update from parameters, hit accept, and you notice now you have your inputs. Now we'll just dive on in. This always seems to happen. It just puts it arbitrarily someplace in the subnet, but move these guys into a better spot so we can get working. I'm going to put down a vector to float node because we'd like to operate on every individual HSV so that we can actually do our math appropriately. Do a float back to vector so that we can convert back in the end there. Calculating, apparently. Okay. From here, I'm just going to add in our saturation into our into the current satch that we're pulling from the RGB value. So the thing about hue is that it is a value between 0 to 1. So I'm going to throw down a modulo node. I can type modulo node. Now what a modulo node is basically just a modulus function from most other scripting languages. If you aren't aware, basically it'll take the remainder from the division function. So whatever its divisor is right here, if you put in 0.5 as your value, it'll give you just a 0.5. If you put in a 1.5, 1 goes into 1.5 once, and what's remaining is 0.5. So that'll just keep it between 0 and 1 for us. From here, I want to multiply our saturation by our input saturation value, and just connect that right in, and then I'm going to multiply our value that's getting calculated out by the value, by our value coming in, and just connect that into that same float to vector node, and now you're done. This will do all of your calculations for you. You can just set it up however you'd like. Make it nice and nice. Nice and nice. Pop back up, hit save, pull out of here, and then just see if it works. So now, if we start to change the hue, if it'll actually render, there we go. It will automatically pull through the hue range for you. Our saturation, you make things back down to grayscale or super saturate things. And then our value to get back down to 0, make it nice and dark, or make it nice and bright. So this is the hue, saturation, and value editor that I use quite frequently in my shop networks. I hope this could be of some assistance for you moving forward. If you have any suggestions, maybe there are other nodes that can do this type of functionality better, let me know down in the description below. If not, have a good day.